What's up? How you doing? Sunday, bloody Sunday, over here in Osaka. Today, let's get to the third part, the final part of the melodic punk and the melodic hardcore series type thing that I'm doing. So last time we got up to was it Peg Boy? What a great record to finish on, Peg Boy. So today it's going to be R to Z, which sounds a bit like a member of the Wu-Tang Clan. Now, mostly I've been showing old stuff, haven't I? Sort of from the 80s, and I thought, I didn't really think about it too much, but I think people are sort of going to think I'm a bit of a dinosaur, a bit of a jaded old man who sort of doesn't listen to any new music. That is not true. And this week, through the power of Facebook, I came across this band called Iron Chic. I've been playing a few of their songs to death. I don't sort of listen to much music sort of digitally on YouTube or whatever, but I haven't got any of this band's records, so I've been playing Iron Chic to death, especially this song, My Best Friend Is a Nihilist. If you haven't heard that, go to YouTube, Iron Chic, S-H-I-C. My Best Friend Is a Nihilist. It's a couple of years old, 1 year old, 2 years old, out on Side One Dummy. Isn't that Kevin Second's record label? Amazing band. Lyrics are a bit dark, really poppy, but sort of a bit crunchy production. Anyway, I love that band. I don't have any of their records, so if anyone has any Iron Chic records under their bed they don't want, I'm your man. Well, let's get started. So, just mentioned, been listening to a new band, Iron Chic, so I thought I'd start off today with 3 sort of newer bands from the modern age, all beginning with R and all bloody great. So let's start off. Again, I haven't done any research. You can sort of educate me in the comments. I'm going to start off with this band, the Red Dons. People are going to say, Analog, that isn't their best LP. I know that. I've got another one of theirs in the on the shelf there, but I like the jacket on this album, the sleeve, called Death to Idealism on Deranged Records from Toronto, Canada. And this band, Red Dons, and this band, Radioactivity, another great American melodic band beginning with the letter R. And these two bands sort of have more of a bit of a new wave thing going on. It's really melodic, of course, a little bit quirky, and really tight rhythm sections. Now, tell me, are these bands sort of related to each other, and are they anything to do with the Marked Men, another great band? I have one record by the Marked Men. I didn't show it last time because I was still sort of stuck in the 80s, but let me know in the comments. Marked Men, Radioactivity, Red Dons, what do all these bands have in common, if anything? Great band. I played this record last night after a few beers. Loved it. Modern day classic, a modern day American classic. Radioactivity, first LP, and Red Dons, Death to Idealism. I was on the internet again last night, because I just pulled out this record. Give it a spin. I hadn't given it a spin for a couple of months. Put it on. Oh, what a great record. Australian band, beginning with R, melodic, punky, raw. Who am I talking about? Yes, the absolutely incredible Royal Headache, with the amazing soulful vocals of Shogun. I really like the way, how can I put this, he could have gone sort of full bore, because he's got that sort of amazing sort of early Rod Stewart vocal sound, but he sort of reins in. It's really smart. It's really, really good. If he'd have sort of sang like that through the whole record, it might have got a bit too much, but it's perfect. Brilliant. That's a really clever thing to do. Anyway, Royal Headache, they've broken up. This is the second record, the best record, I think, and of the 2 albums that they made. But apparently Shogun, the singer, has a new band called Shogun and the Sheets. And I haven't checked them out yet, but I was sort of doing a bit of rummaging around on the internet. Apparently no punk, it's all sort of soul. So I'm looking for it. They've got 1 7-inch out, and I wonder if I can sort of find that in Osaka. Maybe not, but I might give it a listen later on the internet if it's up there. Three great bands, beginning with R, from the modern age. Now, staying with R, going back in time a bit, and sort of going off track a little bit of the theme of these 3 episodes, but I've got to include these records because I don't think I'm going to have another chance to show them. A band that started off LA, brothers, the McDonald brothers, aren't they? When they were really, really young, sort of playing really snotty, inept sort of punk, but they put out these 2 records in the 90s, am I right? And they're both absolutely incredible. Now, first one, Red Cross, of course I'm talking about Red Cross, Third Eye, pop record, psychedelic pop, catchy as hell, almost no heavy guitars on it, but like every song is a pop classic. I mean, seriously, if you've not heard this record and you sort of want to hear a perfect pop record, look no further than Red Cross and Third Eye. And they followed this one up with a record that's much heavier. I hear a bit of a sort of Van Halen influence on this record. Of course, I'm talking about Phase Shifter. Now, again, really poppy record, but this one has heavy guitars all the way through it. So Van Halen-ish harmonies on a lot of songs. Again, not one bad song on it. It's a real 70s sort of sounding bubblegum rock record. It's a masterpiece in my opinion. So maybe these 2 sort of don't quite fit in the box for this sort of this series, but I've got to sort of show them, because if you've never heard them, give them a listen. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Now, I'm excited to show this next record. Probably a lot of people sort of hate it. I love it. And the first record they put out, they were sort of a Minor Threat copy band. I love that record too. But then, all of a sudden, I don't know, they must have been listening to The Cult or something down on the beach, surfing, long-haired lads. They're, of course, what am I talking about? I'm talking about this bad boy. Uniform Choice, Staring into the Sun. Oh, I don't know why. I've got a soft spot for this record. It's interesting, these sort of blokes that were sort of straight edge, Minor Threat influenced band, short hair, X's on the hands. A few years later, they all got long hair. I don't know what was going up their noses, if anything, but this record certainly has that sort of a white powderish vibe to it. Big, like The Cult, kind of like The Cult, big rock record, but there's still a little bit of the old sort of fast hardcore in there too. So lovely stuff. I know I've got some mates in America who are sort of also big fans of this record, so that's dedicated to them. Lovely stuff from America. Fantastic, love it. Next, staying in America, moving on to V, one of the best guitar sounds on any sort of melodic punk or melodic hardcore record. Huge chugging guitar sound. Again, another Minor Threat influenced band, but they have their own sound. Of course, I'm talking about the magnificent Verbal Assault and their record Trial, which is on Giant Records, 1987. Wasn't, now let me get this right if I remember correctly, wasn't Giant sort of responsible for putting out a lot of records sort of like this, of bands that were more hardcore, but we're going for sort of more of a big rock sound. Dag Nasty, Field Day, wasn't that on Giant? What else is on Giant? Let me know in the comments, but I don't know. I think this is an amazing record. As I said, just crazy, huge, chugging guitar sound. It's sort of like minor, heavy metal, minor threat, bad description. But I love this record, and it's short. It's more of an EP, so it's like it's in, gets in, does the job, and gets out. And yeah, top notch recommendation. 1987, Giant Records. They came to England, didn't they? Did I see them? I think I did, and they got sort of friendly with Culture Shock, Citizen Fish, which was the band, you know, after the Subhumans that played sort of more ska. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they ended up putting out that single Tiny Giants, which has that sort of ska or reggae rhythm, which I'm sure came directly from listening to or being mates with Culture Shock or Citizen Fish. Great band. I'm sort of going in the wrong order here. I've sort of missed out a few. Doesn't matter. Next, W, American, LA maybe, and the Beatles meets Cheap Trick. Talking about White Flag, wacky band. Now, apparently, this is sort of a compilation. I didn't know that at the time, of singles or whatever. I don't know, compilation songs. And there's actually, I mean, there's a Blue Oyster Cult cover. There's a Cheap Trick cover, and there's a Beatles cover. And I don't know. This is a really sort of fun record. It is poppy. I mean, it is a pop record, really. But I don't know, sort of those high-pitched helium sort of harmonies, and it's a bit of a sort of jokey record in a way, but it's not quite funny punk, because I hate funny punk. But yeah, this is a great record. Beatles, Cheap Trick, punked up, great record. Put out in England on the Wet Spots label in the late 80s, I think. Well, I've sort of come to the end of the alphabet, but I'm not done. I've sort of buried the S's under the Y, but that's okay. So this technically should have been the last record, but it's not going to be now. Canada, a band beginning with Y. Not only one Y, but three Ys. Y, but Y. And Sin, and their 12-inch record on Fringe product. This is melodic hardcore at its best. It's fast, it's furious, it's fiery, but it's still catchy and melodic with a great vocalist too. It's sort of got the high registered tone, but it's not whiny. Great songs. It's not punk. This is I call this a hardcore punk record, melodic hardcore punk record. Fast and Furious, great record. Canada, this is one of my favourite records out of Canada of all time. Y. Sin, 12-inch. Again, another short one, sort of like the Verbal Assault record I just showed. Now, I sort of made a mistake and completely neglected the S section, but that's okay, because I think if you're a record collector, you'll probably agree with me that the S section is usually quite jam-packed with lovely stuff, and mine is no exception. So let's get to the S's and let's get this over and done with. S, America, Husker Du-ish. I'm getting deja vu. Did I talk about this band before? I might have done. I'm not sure. Squirrel Bait, and their second record, Skag Heaven. They were really young when they started, weren't they? Again, this is sort of, it is Husker Du-ish, but they've got their own thing going on. Amazing drumming, catchy as hell songs, but a little bit off kilter. The melodies sort of might not necessarily stick on the first listen. Very dusty record, sort of very sort of almost Minneapolis sound, but they're not from Minneapolis, are they? And of course, they do a cover of Tape from California. God, see, losing memory. Who sang Tape from California originally? Old American political folk singer. It's not coming. No, nobody. No, I give up. Don't remember. But great record. If you like Husker Du, early Soul Asylum, that sort of thing. Great record. Squirrel Bait and Skag Heaven. Ooh, what a title for a record. Now, next record. When I was a boy, I probably would have said this was a college rock band and not punk at all. I'm older and wiser now, and I can appreciate this band. I think they're amazing. What am I talking about? Beginning with S. The lovely Superchunk, and probably my favourite record by them. They've got a lot of records, but this one is probably my favourite. On the Mouth, that Precision Auto, what a great song. And I don't know, it's on Merge Records now. It's funny, isn't it? Music's a funny thing. Sort of bands and labels sort of get pigeonholed, and it's like, even though they might sort of sound almost the same, it's like, oh no, this band's on that label and they sort of dress like that, so therefore they are this kind of band and not that kind of band. And I did it all the time when I was a kid. They're not a punk band, blah 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 blah. No, grown up now, I know better. This is a raging melodic punk rock record, in my opinion. I like the really sort of fragile, sort of frail, sort of croaking, cracked vocals of Mac, isn't it? That's what's his name, the singer of the band. Great band. If you haven't heard this record, or you haven't heard Superchunk, you're a bit scared. If you sort of think they're an indie college band, don't be scared. Give them a listen. Great band. Superchunk. Now, I'm getting deja vu again. I think I did talk about Scream in the sort of best hardcore records of all time. Did I do that? I talked about Scream, but I think I showed the first record, so I'm going to quickly show the second record. Oh, look at the lads there in the late 80s, mid 80s. Great record, huge melodic record, big rock influence going on. Of course, they've got the reggae number. That was a thing, wasn't it? But that sort of spoils it a little bit. But and sort of jangly guitars as well, which also was a little bit not confusing, but I thought that was quite interesting. As a kid, starts off with Bet You Never Thought, is that song? It sort of starts off with that sort of ding ding ding, ding, that jangly guitar riff. Great record. Second record from Scream, of course. Discord Records, one of the best records on Discord, in my opinion. Now, I talked about the next band in the Leatherface episode a lot, so I'm not going to talk about them too much. I'm just going to show the record and just say this first record, first album by Snuff Masterpiece. If you want to hear me sort of talk more about Snuff, go and look at the Leatherface video, because I sort of do talk a lot about a lot of British melodic punk bands in that video, so I'm not going to go on about them again in this one. Snuff, first album on Workers' Playtime. This is the original with the red text, not the yellow text that Fat Records decided to put on there when they reissued it. But fair play to them for sort of reissuing it. I'm sure they introduced Snuff to a whole sort of huge audience of teenage American suburban skateboarders over there in America. Good job. Now, Germany. Have we had a record from Germany yet in this series? Yes, we have. Jingo de Lunch. This band, similar in a way, they sort of started off really straightforward melodic hardcore, and then they sort of injected a bit more rock into their sound. I was going to choose the first record, but I decided to go for this one. I think, is it the third LP? Sperm Birds, Common Thread, a German band with an ex-GI American singer, Mr. Lee Hollis. I saw this band at the legendary TJ's in Newport, Wales. What a great live band they were. Yeah, great. Melodic punk, melodic hardcore, but this record has got some sort of rock influences coming. And I think when I saw them, they just put this record out, so they played a lot of records, so a lot of songs off this record. Fantastic. Sperm Birds. A lot of people like the first LP the best, Something to Prove, but I think for me this one has aged better. And they've got, I thought it's funny, their mate Joke on the back looking exactly like Ian MacKaye. Sperm Birds, Something to Prove on the great Xmist Records from Germany. Oh, last one. We're going to finish off in Canada. Canada, best melodic hardcore punk band in history from Canada, beginning with S. Yes? No? SNFU. And this is my favourite SNFU record, with the inimitable Mr. Chi or Mr. Chai Pig on vocals. Again, I saw this band in the 80s in Bristol at Tropic Club on a weekday night, and they, again, such an energetic performance. Pig was sort of all over the stage, jumping up and down, his hair going up like that, touching the ceiling. Again, I got this on a tape years ago, just after it came out, and one of those records that sort of impressed me. I loved it sort of straight off. For a sort of unique band, you can't really, there's not really another band that sort of sounds exactly like SNFU. Very melodic, fast, crazy lyrics, sort of crazy song titles like Snapping Turtle and Where's My Legs and things like that. It's sort of weird, sort of interesting lyrics, but obviously a Canadian classic. If you swear, you'll catch no fish. Canadian classic. Well, that's it. We're done. The melodic punk and the melodic hardcore series, trilogy is complete. I'm gonna go and have a cold beer. It's Sunday. It's really humid. Thanks for watching, as always, and until next time, as always, stay healthy and stay clean.